G season!
Hey, what is going on, guys? Did you forget that it's G season? Yeah, because I haven't been mentioning it, so sorry about that. But if you guys didn't know, if you missed the announcement a couple weeks ago, I announced that this summer is officially G season. That's the theme that I'm kind of trying to promote for this season, June and July, kind of this season of summer. G season, anything like G Gundam related, like we're going to be taking a look at today, or stuff like G Unit related, like we got up there, or anything like that. I guess anything from GPO1, like that kind of thing, anything with G in it, just kind of go for it. Just use the hashtag G season on this kind of stuff. So we're going to be taking a look at an HD kit from G Gundam here today. It is the Nobell Gundam Berserker Mode. There's two different forms of this HG kit. The Berserker Mode has a little bit different hair, a little bit different colors, and a little bit different accessories for it. So let's take a look at it, shall we? The front of the box art here is pretty cool. You can see this came out back in 2011. You can see the Nobel there facing off against the G Gundam. The side of the box over here, you can see this is number 129 in the HG line. And then on the one side here, you just got to look front and back what this is going to look like. So like I said, the two forms of this kit have different hair. This one has the open, like spread out hair. The other one is just like all formed down, like it's like down in one big piece. So this one is kind of interesting. It also has the two beam sabers you can see there in hand. It's got like kind of pinkish color, sort of like Trans Am sort of style looking colors to it. You got some more information here, and then we go around onto the other side. We can see more about the articulation details on that. Looks like it is going to be coming with a stand as well, and you can see a little bit about some of the movement of the hair in there as well. It kind of got like a couple of layers of that, sort of what it looks like, and you got some different hand options which look really cool. And it can do cute poses as well. All right, and then this kit came out for a list price of 1,500 yen, so not too bad, about 15 bucks for this kit. I'm only now just kind of remembering that this is the version of the kit that doesn't come with the beam ribbon effect. The regular version comes with a version of the beam that makes like a spirally ribbon kind of effect, which is kind of interesting, which I'd be interested to like check out at some point, maybe in the future. This one just only has just the regular beam sabers, which may be a little bit more boring to people. Maybe the regular or the more unique beam ribbon would have been more appealing to some people, but maybe sometime in the future we'll have to check that out. In the meantime, let's get this one opened up and see what we got in here. We are going to have 4 bags of runners and our instruction manual here. So on the front of the manual, you just got standard HG style photograph there of the painted kit, looking very cool. Of course, it's from Neo, Sweden. On the back, we've got some more detail shots, kind of the same stuff we saw on the back side, or on the sides of the box, I should say. We got the cute pose, the power-up pose, and then just kind of more standing pose, showing off the articulation within the body there, which should allow for some nice posing of that, some different option hands. And then once more, just a little bit about the story there, all in Japanese, and the color guide also all in Japanese, but you can translate that if you're interested in checking out the official colors for this. Opening it up to the center page, we've got some information over here showing the different forms of that. So there's, like I said, the regular form of it, which comes with the beam ribbon and a little bit different hair for that as well. Once again with the G Gundam, you got this action base. So this is like, I think, one of the few cases where I've actually seen it advertising you using both arms of that action base at the same time. Usually it's one or the other, and it's usually there's this regular straight up one, but it's interestingly showing that you can use, or that you should use, both when posing these kits together, so that's kind of cool. Here's some other kits in the line, HG Future Century. We've got the Rising Gundam, the Master Gundam with Funsaiki, and the God Gundam here as well, other optional ones. Hopefully they'll make some more someday in the future. And then over here, just some more information about the Gundam in Berserker Mode, and some detail shots about that. Another cool action pose, some stills from the anime here, and a little bit there about Allenby. So pretty cool. All right, let's get into the parts list. Here's that, just a few parts on here. I mean, not a ton of runners. We just got A, B, C1, C2. That's all. You got a couple of X-Stoff parts there, parts that will not be used for this one. Probably ones that were used specifically with the alternate form, the regular form. And then it's just on through the construction, pretty much as normal, all the way to using the action base and the action base adapters there for that. So, all right, let's check out the runners. And it looks like we are going to have a few foil stickers with this, one for the eyes, as you might expect, and then a couple of other smaller ones in like a very light pink and a little bit kind of darker pink, and then a couple little what look to be probably different camera stickers, little bluish teal kind of colored circles there. SB6 for our beam saber effect parts. These are the shorter style 1/44 scale beam saber effect parts in clear pink. And then runner BA1 for our base part here in like a milky clear white kind of color. And then runner A in 4 colors. We got some like gunmetal brownish gray up there at the top for the different hands. We got some kind of very orangish yellow over here for some of the yellow parts on this. The red parts are in this very bright magenta pink kind of color, and the purple parts, as you can see, are like a metallic gloss injected purple there, which is kind of cool. So I know this is not going to appeal to everyone, but I gotta say the colors of this had got me really excited. They're just such really unique bright colors for this that I kind of like that about this. Runner B here is in a really light pink, kind of also seems to be a little bit metallic injected as well with this one, and it's kind of unique, very rosy white kind of color here. So these are going to be a replacement for all the parts that would be white on the normal version are now in this kind of rosy pink kind of color. And then we're going to see more of the different joint parts and stuff once again in that metallic gunmetal kind of brownish gray color. And then we also have runner C2 as a copy of this half of the runner over here. And finally, of course, runner D for our hair parts, which is in a very orangey yellow kind of color like we saw in the A runner as well. And hopefully you guys are seeing this for just how orange these parts are, but it's a really fluorescent orangey kind of color, so I'm not sure how well it's coming across on camera, but in person it's a really bright fluorescent orange color. So there's all the parts. Let me get her put together and we'll see how the kit looks. And here she is all built up and surprisingly somehow able to stand up pretty straight without having to do too much forward Michael Jackson lean, because that hair obviously going to be pretty back heavy, but you can still make her stand up straight, although you have a base included with the kit, so I would probably recommend just using that. This was a really fun kit to build. It was really interesting in the fact that it didn't use any polycaps too. It was a very early kit to not use any polycaps, so the build is interesting. It's a really small kit too. It's a little bit smaller than what I was expecting as well, so I'll show you a size comparison here in a bit, but this is one that's definitely unique. It doesn't necessarily come with a whole bunch of stuff in the box with it, but it does, at the same time doesn't really necessarily need to. But for any fans of the G Gundam series, this is definitely one that I'm going to recommend to you guys, so let's check it out. So like I said, aside from the base, the accessories and everything included in here are going to be very limited, so you basically have some different hand options, including these holding hands. These open hands here, which have the wrist bent backwards like that, so they can be used for different poses like other flying poses or something as well too. So you can do some interesting poses with those. And then nothing Japanese kawaii would be complete without the peace sign hand there for the left hand as well. Now that's it for your hand options. One thing that I definitely wish would have been included was some closed fists. So this form is supposed to be meant to like be the Berserker form where she's like raging and flying around with her fists punching and everything. We need some actual closed fist hands, not these just open like holding hands like that. Definitely would have been a great improvement. Would have actually preferred them over these open hands, to be honest. And then around here on her back you have these little thruster bells poking out there, but if you didn't want to have those on, you can swap that out for this part, which just gives you just this part here on her back just closed. So that will just look like that. But again, because this is a Berserker form, I feel like it's probably more fitting to have this opened up with those sticking out like that, because she's going crazy and flying around all fast, right? Then your action-based adapter is slightly different. Rather than a 3mm hole, you have a slot here, so you need this different shaped adapter piece there to be able to put her on an action base. And then sort of a sticker option here for that little green sticker there on the front of the chest. You have an optional part for that, whether you want to have this one, which will cover up like this whole circular section there, like the green center part, and then the green ring around that as well. But I just wanted to go this one with just the green center part. But if you want to make that entire part all green, you use that different sticker there for that. And of course our two beam sabers here, which are just pretty standard, normal, but they look good. And just going back to the stickers, I mean, they work pretty well. It's just there for the eyes, the head camera there, the light colored lining part on those parts there on the chest, and then the parts there on the back, that's stickers there as well. And of course this red stripe around her thigh there is also a sticker. That could have made maybe a separate piece, separated this into a couple different pieces, but just that being a sticker is easy enough to mask off. That is an actual raised detail on there, so just masking and painting that separately won't be anything difficult at all. And then one more sticker up there around the neck as well, that pink sticker that wraps around there for the neck. So let's just get into talking about the articulation. Obviously, as you can see, the neck will, or the head will go all the way up to there, which is pretty nice. You have some flags on the V-fin as well too. You can remove those and sharpen up the V-fin. Also will look pretty nice. It will go then down to there. You do have a little bit of movement in these hair parts. The center part can like move a little bit from these side parts, although really you're only getting like a little bit of separation there. And then there's these little parts here underneath which also move a little bit up and down up inside there, and the head will go ultimately down to there, which I kind of wish that that would point a little bit farther down so you could get the hair like pointed up a little bit more. But anyway, it does still look pretty good. Here in the torso section, you don't really have a whole lot of forward and back ab crunch or anything there. It sort of moves, but doesn't really actually do much of anything. You do have some rotation here though, of course. The shoulders are just on a ball joint, those rotate around there, and I love how these are basically like a Gundam Verka shoulders, almost exactly in their design. It's just really cool about this. And then the arm will come up to about there before you're popping that out of the ball joint there, so just about 90 degrees to the body basically, and then you just got rotation here. The joint in the elbow will give you a little bit more than 90 degrees, although unfortunately it's not a double joint, so that's as far as you're going to get with that. The wrist just on a ball joint, of course. The front skirts are joined together, but you can clip them apart in the center to make them move individually if you want. Those will move up and down. The side skirts also will move up and down pretty nicely like that, so you can get the leg all the way out to the side. That won't be an issue. The back skirt around here doesn't move at all. That's just fixed in place with that big ribbon kind of looking part on there as well. And the hip joint up in there will rock back and forth like that. Ultimately, then you can just rotate that at the top of the leg there as well. You can bring it forward too. Looks like really only about 90 degrees forward, but then you got your knee bend there. Also just a single joint for the knee, no double joint there either, unfortunately, so you're really only getting like 90 degrees there at the knee as well. This front bit of ankle armor here doesn't actually move at all. The ankle itself will move up to about there, back to about there again before you're popping it out of the ball joint. And then the ankle will move a little bit side to side there as well. So I think the posing for this will be pretty good, but a couple of those joints aren't the greatest, so that'll probably be a little bit limiting. And just for a quick size comparison here, she is going full Imoto Gundam, and you can see she is going to be pretty short there, smaller than the regular size RX-72 HG there. And just the overall shape, of course, is a very petite form, but just it's definitely going to be a little bit smaller HG kit. The other thing that I mentioned during the unboxing portion of this is that I really like the colors that this is molded in. Just this plastic that this kit is molded in, the colors are so nice. That really bright like fluorescent pink, the metallic purple, the really bright fluorescent like orange yellow there for the hair and yellow parts also looks really nice. And then for the white, instead of it being just pure white, being a little bit kind of rosy in color as well, just the colors that this is in are really nice. Again, it's not going to be for everyone, maybe not everyone's personal taste, but I think for creating that Berserker look and just overall, I mean, just the colors just look nice for this kit. They're very fitting to the style of the kit as well too, so I think those came out really nice. And as for the detail, there's not a ton of detail on there. You do have some details on there. If you wanted to go in and just like panel line this a little bit using some like brown or red kind of color, I think would be good. If you were just only doing the panel lining, I mean, if you're fully painting a kit, you know, panel lining doesn't really matter too much, or you have to match to whatever color you end up painting it. But if you just got this kit, did a little bit of panel lining with like some brown or red kind of color, or just like mixed brown and red, like make just like a dark red, brownish red color to your panel lining for this, and then just give it some top coat over that. I think it'd be a great looking kit just straight out the box. But overall, I mean, it's not going to be for everyone. This kit is pretty cheap though, so I mean, if you are interested, if you're a fan of G Gundam and you just want to check out the design, the kit is relatively cheap if you can get it. I know sometimes the Nobel in the two different forms can be kind of hard to come by, as they do seem to be still a relatively popular kit, and they don't get reissued very much from Bandai. And if you were on the fence about which version to get, again, as far as I know, basically the only difference is just the hair and then just the weapons. Instead of the beam sabers, the regular version just comes with the beam ribbon, which is pretty interesting, but it doesn't really look like it's all that useful. It just looks kind of interesting, but you have to like really work at it to get it to look like it's posed right, in my opinion, from what I've seen of the kit. I haven't built it though, so I couldn't really say with total certainty, but that's just my thoughts on it. I think basically the difference between them is get whichever like hair version you want, whether you want it down or up. And then of course, as for the colors, I mean, you can always paint that if you don't like the colors that one particular version is molded in. So that's gonna be it for this review, guys. It's another great entry into our G season here this summer, so hopefully you guys are building and painting anything G season, G Gundam, G Unit, anything like that, G related. Make sure you're using that G season hashtag when you're sharing stuff around on social media. And if you have any further questions or comments about this kit, of course, feel free to let me know down in the comment section below. Thank you to USA Gundam Store for supporting me and my channel as well. If you guys want to check out the link to their site, it's down below in the video description. Use my coupon code there as well. And don't forget to subscribe, guys, if you haven't already. Really appreciate that, and I'll see y'all next time. Have a great day. Goodbye.